Diversity is important because it educates you a lot more about other cultures. It educates you about the world.
Every culture, every community brings something to the table. Food and the culture in Melbourne, it's very diverse.
Yeah.
It's easy to make friends in Melbourne than
any other city. When I was in Sydney, I had the worst coffee experiences.
We are the first one from our communities, and especially with international student background. This is the first ticket that have been put together.
So good to see people of color. Makes me feel that there is opportunity for people of color to be there.
Of course.
So you came as an international student. Did you all ever think you'll be standing in council? Like, oh my God,
Lord,
the
no.
difference.
No.
Never. There's no one from Indian communities in the parliament.
As an Indian, the representation of Indians or South Asians in movies is so different. No Indian talks like that.
It's a form of a discrimination from the production house in itself. Because they want to get this attention how they portray few cultures, and I think they don't do the justice. It is important for people to see themselves, okay, they have done it, we can too.
Welcome to another episode of Australia Unfiltered, where we have candid and insightful conversations with people living in Australia. This series is powered by Anchor Cookie Co, and we would like to give a special thanks to Aussies Group for this amazing podcast space. Now, let's dive into this conversation for today. We will be talking about diversity in Australia with Elvis Martin and Mavi Singh. Welcome, Elvis and Mavi.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Sara.
Before we dive in, Elvis is a community advocate and currently running for the city of Melbourne. Most recently, he represented Australia at the United Nations and a long-time government director. Mavi is a well-known face in the entertainment industry and he advocates for small local businesses. He is a councillor candidate as a part of Team Elvis.
That's right.
Yes.
And with a director, a board member. Board director.
You're a board member in a lot of places. If I have to start that and write that, I think the whole podcast would end there. Don't you agree?
Probably.
Yes. You've done so much for the community and the people of Australia.
It's great to be part of community and really represent that voice of our communities and really bring that diversity to the discussion and decision making.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's great to have, even though we are all South Asians, but I think we have diverse backgrounds and diverse experiences.
Yes.
And it's great to talk about this topic with such a diverse, I'd say, cohort or community that I'm saying.
Yeah. I think diversity of ethnicity is one thing, but also diversity of experience, which we don't talk much about, and I think that's really important. Even in our communities, we have a lot of diverse experiences.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep, agreed. So Elvis and Mavi, what was when did you first have your diversity? When did you experience diversity first? Let's ask you that.
When first experienced diversity, I think when I landed in Australia, I was blown away with everything. First day in high school in year 12 in Canberra.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very diverse because I think I was the only brown kid in there. Did not understand anything what the teacher was saying because it was my first day and it was very hard to pick up the accent.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that was diverse because and it was an English teacher, English lecture. First day in school ever in year 12.
Yep.
Yeah, diversity right on my face there.
How is it as being the only brown person in school? I think it's different when you're kids, or is it the same?
I don't even remember that, but I felt weird personally because, coming from India, speaking our first language in India, of course, and then you come here, you do feel a little awkward, I think, in the initial stages. Once you, of course, because you're new to the culture, you're new to the food, you're new to the jokes they have around, because you haven't grown up with them, right?
Yeah, true.
So you will not have common jokes. Like if you go back to India and you meet your school friends, you have that jokes that you'll be having since you were a kid till all the way.
Yep.
So I think you miss that personal touch.
Yep, I agree. What about you, Elvis?
So I came to Melbourne and that was first stop, and that's pretty much the last stop because I love Melbourne. I can't move to any other city. I travel a lot for work, but I love Melbourne. And when I came to Melbourne, I connected with all different races and the food and the culture in Melbourne. It's very diverse.
Yeah.
And then just learning about other cultures and really understanding how do they do things that's differently to what I have been taught. And it's been a real learning experience. And I feel like Melbourne is very diverse and very friendly in many ways. And people here do want to connect with you. And it's, I don't know, it's fair to say, but at least I felt this. It's easy to make friends in Melbourne than
any other city.
That's how I say.
I think I've spoken to obviously so many people in Melbourne. All people in Melbourne are so diverse towards their own city. But that's why you guys are living in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Will not live anywhere else. I love Melbourne. Yeah, love Melbourne. I know people hate the Melbourne weather, but very honestly, I love Melbourne weather.
I don't mind the Melbourne weather. I know there's a big fuss about it, but
I hate the weather. I love Melbourne. I absolutely love Melbourne. But only if it had less colder days would have been the perfect city.
I look at it where like you don't get bored from wind weather. It's like 4 different weathers in a day. Love it. And like you're not getting bored.
Okay,
I don't like rain. That's all.
As men or guys, your fashion is very simple. Okay, for girls, it is so much more difficult when there are 4 different weathers.
I can have a debate about this in another podcast.
No, but I stand for myself and I agree to that. You can wear this when it's summer, remove this. When it's winter, wear this. When it's just put on another thing.
It's not that simple.
But for
there's
girls,
cotton blazers and as I said, I can have that debate in another podcast.
Fine. Let's get back to diversity. What does diversity actually mean to you guys?
For me, inclusion of all voices and having that different experiences, ethnicities, and how diversity means Melbourne to me. You know what I mean? How it brings, like, there are different cultures and different people with different experiences. We all coexist in one city and doing amazing, right?
Yeah.
And that is diversity, right? At its best. So that's how I
for
see
someone who's not been to Melbourne, like, you know, we live in Melbourne, but for what someone who's not lived in Melbourne or is from another part of Australia, what would you tell them what diversity means? Or what is Melbourne when you say diversity? What is that?
What is Melbourne is it's welcoming. Melbourne is welcoming. Melbourne is friendly. It's easy to connect with people. It's easy to make friends. A city of opportunities, right? And a lot of international students, especially, they look for opportunities. And I have friends in Sydney and other parts of Australia, and I always tell them move to Melbourne. There is opportunity, especially in their fields of what they are doing, and it is it is more welcoming. Sorry, it's more welcoming place for multicultural communities than any other city.
I've heard that as well. So when I was moving to Australia, I had 2 options, either Sydney or Melbourne, because I got admission both places. But an aunt of mine who lives in Australia, she doesn't live in Melbourne, but she lives in Australia. She's like, go to Melbourne. It's more diverse, it's more multicultural, and it'll be a better place for it. That was the only reason why I chose Melbourne. I didn't even look at the weather. That was stupid. If I looked at the weather, I'd be in Sydney right now. But
I'm glad you did not.
Thank you. And what does diversity mean to you?
Diversity means, as Elvis said, I think Melbourne. That's one thing you will find everyone here. You will find so many people from different cultures, different backgrounds. And diversity also means, you know, as we spoke at the beginning of the podcast, it's also your diverse experiences.
Yep.
I think diversity brings a lot of different experiences from a lot of different fields.
Yep.
And of course, diversity means having a burrito in lunch and Indian in dinner.
Yes.
And having Mexican in breakfast and Lebanese in lunch again. And
you're a total foodie.
yes, I love food. And Melbourne, you find amazing food.
Yes.
Anywhere you go.
Yes.
Amazing food. And I think eat everywhere. Like on street.
Coffee, food, best.
Yeah,
Best.
I agree. Like when I was in Sydney, I had the worst coffee experiences. Horrible. Like people in Sydney.
I hope people in Sydney are not watching us.
I hope you are watching us and you know your coffee sucks.
No, but I think Melbourne coffee is great.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee drinker myself.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. But I know I've heard Melbourne coffee is great.
Yep. No.
The best coffee, like with work, I travel around the world and I crave for that coffee in the morning. I was like, oh my God, take me back home. I need coffee.
Yeah,
so
true.
I love coffee, and I think we are known for that.
Yeah.
And you go on Swanston Street now, King Street, Elizabeth Street, you see a lot of food restaurants and it's diverse.
It is diverse. And just to add on that, what I also feel what diversity is, it is also inclusion of people, like, you know, without any biases, is what I feel mainly what diversity is for me.
And I think people not just like, what I found about Melbourne is like, people are more open to connecting with other people from different cultures and getting to know them or hanging out. Some few different parts of Australia, what I have seen is like people stay in these groups.
Yeah, they stay in the clusters.
Clusters. Yeah. And that's not good for them, and that's not good for their growth and the wider community.
Yeah, true. It leads us to our next question, but I want to ask you, why are people so, why do you think people are so much more open to connecting with people in Melbourne? Like, what makes it that way? Any thoughts on that? Any comments?
Wow, that's a very interesting
question. Yeah. I have to think about that one. I feel it's because, for me personally, it excites me to know more about different cultures and festivals and their traditions and, you know, what they follow and how they follow. It really excites me, and it really increases your knowledge in terms of every different culture. It is it gives you space to have more communications to people. And I think the more you know about different cultures, it just puts you at a better place.
You know, when you said that, I think why Melbourne is so open to diversity, because it has so many cultural events and festivals, be it sporting events or cultural events.
Yeah.
So people with different interests come there, but they're of diverse backgrounds. So that's how I think they end up meeting, and that's what Melbourne fosters in people. Like, I know my friends, they come from Sydney, just start here to attend like the tennis, the Australian Open.
Yeah.
Everyone from so many different backgrounds are there. And then you just connect. I think it fosters that places.
And also, not being arrogant, but I feel like people in Melbourne are kind and compassionate. That makes it much easy to connect. You know what I mean? People, like, any human being, if they are not connecting with someone, is because they have that fear of judgment and things like that. And that there's a campaign that's run by state government currently. It's something that you don't have to say a word, but you can say a lot of things just by expressing and giving a look at someone. And in Melbourne, I feel like people always smile at you, and that just makes it easy to connect with that person, or makes it easy to talk to that person. And without saying, you can say a lot of things.
Can I tell you, Elvis, probably it's you. I think when you smile at a person, then the person 100%. Smiles. So that's why you feel Melbourne is so well. I'm not saying it's not, but that's why you see the more brighter side, and you feel people are smiling. And you don't even realize you might be the one smiling at them, and then you're getting the smiles back.
I think we all should do that.
Yeah, we should do that. I'm not saying that's a great thing. That's such a great thing.
But I've experienced the same thing with Elvis, is the compassion that Melbourne people have. I think it's just the love that Melbourne has. Melbourne turns you into this amazing human being. Melbourne turns us into an amazing human being because it's so many communities.
Yeah, true. It is communities. I'd say there are diverse experiences. Every city has it. Every city, all of those things. There are people who give good looks, but I've also had experiences where I've not had good looks. Judgmental looks is what I'd say.
Yeah, I think we all have that as people of color, I guess. There are time to time, you always have, like my grandmother used to say, that you will always have one bad egg in a tray of eggs. You know what I mean? And so it is, there are people like that. I have my fair share of racism and discrimination, and many people of color, especially.
Yeah, true.
Multicultural communities.
Yeah, with that one, it's a very, I think, sensitive topic to a lot of people.
Yeah, true.
But as I was said, you will always experience that. But
I think you need to have the bad days to experience the good, to understand the value of the good days.
But I feel you should also know, if you're experiencing something like that, you should take a stand for yourself.
100%.
If you're facing discrimination in any sort, you should go out there and take a stand for yourself. You shouldn't just let it eat you alive. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Same with me. I when I experience things, and I usually stand up. And not just that, I always say to others as well, sometimes when a person is experiencing that if you call that episode of racism or being attacked or being discriminated, they might not be in that position to stand up for them, because it takes there's a lot happening. They're processing what's happening and being just attacked and questioned. And so I think people around them also have an equal responsibility to stand up and say, hey, how you're treating this person is not right.
Yep, true.
And I think allyship is so important in that sense. Sometimes people, I feel like, they go like, oh, it's not my business, I shouldn't be interfering. No, it is your business.
You're the change maker, basically. 100%. So if you don't, as Mavi said, if you don't raise your voice, and as you said, when you take a stand, then you become the change maker. And that is what is important. And I think you guys are change makers at this point of time. You are being, and we'll get to that. And like how you're standing for council, and you are also in Team Elvis. So you all are bringing the diversity, and you're not being the change makers. And it's so good to see people of, I'm being biased, but it's so good to see people of color in those positions, because it makes me, who came as an immigrant, as a student, makes me feel that there is opportunity for people of color to be there.
Of course.
100%. I think that's the goal, and that's what we are doing. It's like, it's important. We are the first, as we touch on the election topic, we are the first ticket that is, for your viewers, ticket is like a mini party, whatever you call it.
So Team Elvis party?
Whatever you call it. So that's how a City of Melbourne Council election works. It's very different to any other councils. But we are the first one from our communities, and especially with international student background. This is the first ticket that have been put together. So it is important. It is important to send that message out to people, whether it is children of migrants or international students who are just new to the country, that this is a city of possibilities, and this is for you, and you have that place where you can thrive. You don't. Most of the time, international students or many people think that I don't have a good accent, I don't have a good English, I don't deserve it, right? So I think we are the biggest critics of ourselves, you know what I mean? And we put ourselves down so much.
It's like, I was just discussing this previously with someone, imposter syndrome.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's running high in our community.
It is. On that, it just got me thinking, you came as an international student. You were a student when you came, even though you came with your parents. Did you all ever think you'll be standing in council? Like, oh my God,
Lord,
the
no.
difference.
No, never. I think when Elvis approached me for this, I always had something in me that I want to do something for the community. But of course, I was not aware politically that I can, go and politically stand. That's when Elvis introduced me to these things, and I was like, well, I have a vision, and I've always had a vision to do something for the community. I think it's a very good platform to do it. Well, Elvis was interviewing me back then. I never knew he was. So I think, I never thought I'll ever stand in elections.
No, I never thought that either. Like, as an international student, you are busy trying to work hard and go to school and do your assignments and trying to get everything on time. The life is very... So the focus that you have is that how I'm going to gather the tuition fee, how I'm going to really, get on top of my assignments. I think no one thinks that, okay, this is what I want to do. I started advocating in the community and being a voice for the community for the last 10 years, have been involved in various boards and different decision making.
What motivated you to, advocate for the community?
My own lived experience and my own hardships, right? So I think as international students, we go through many challenges, and the challenges might look different for every person, whether it is mental health or family violence or many different things. So I have experienced some of these things, and that's why I wanted to be a voice for a community that is struggling, especially international students.
And what was your first step to, be a part of the community and advocate for the community? Like, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm very curious to know. Like, it's not easy to just be like, I can be like, oh, I want to advocate for the community, but how the hell do I do it? Like, we're just go on the street and be like, hey, I don't even know. I'm so sure there's ways, right?
No, that's a good question. I think so. What I did is that I advocated and formed a Co-Health Youth Action Council that gives voice to young people experiencing mental health challenges and advise Co-Health Board and Co-Health leadership around the changes that need to happen. So I have always been active in community in that way. That requires a lot of your time that you have to give up, and you're not getting paid in many ways, and you have to sacrifice that sort of a thing. So for me, there was this, whether you call it burning fire or anger or whatever it is, that things that happened with me, and I wanted to channel it in a way that so that no one else go through what I have been through. And so I started getting involved in many different things. And in the start, just know that it's a lot of time that you give out to community. You won't be reimbursed for your time. So
did you get paid for it or no?
In the start, no. You don't, you do a lot of, there are so many community advocates who do amazing things for their communities. And just know that they are not paid when they are starting up and doing things from the scratch. But that should not stop you. Right? If you really believe that there's something that's wrong, then you should take time to stand up for it.
I think if you want to work something for the community, and if you want to do something for the community, don't come from the perspective that you're going to earn money from it. If you're going to come from that perspective, you might just run a business. Because you will not earn money from doing something for the community. But it's good to do something for the community because it's, as it said, be the change you want to see. So you should really start from there.
And many people think that, it's not my place and I don't have that capacity. No one is going to listen to me. If you're going to speak up for your community, there are not many people who are speaking up and taking a stand, and people will listen to you. People will take you seriously, and don't feel like I can't do it. I'm not capable. So stop being your own critic and just stand up. And you have talent and you have skills. So my mentor always tells me that when you go and if I do public speaking as well. So she always says, okay, if you're speaking, just know that you are the expert of what you're about to say. No one knows what you're about to say. And they are going to listen to you because they don't know what you're about to say. So you are an expert in that way. So the experiences that you have, not many people have witnessed that and haven't been in those situations to understand that. So just really bringing that out and saying, okay, this is what can happen with people. And that's how we should. So provide solution. Right? When I experienced hardship and challenges, I had two things to do. One, I could have been angry and frustrated on the system and not do anything about it. Right? Or you say, okay, this is what took place with me. If I had this support, then things would have been better.
I have heard, you're not saying all these things about community, but from a lot of people, is what I've heard is when you stand up for the community, there are no people backing you up from 100%. The community. It's you're alone. Is that true?
100%.
I think there are days, and Elvis would, speak better on this topic than me because he's done more than what I have at the moment. But you're kind of right because, as Elvis said before, people are scared. When people come as students, they don't want to, involve themselves in a place where they're not safe because they're on a student visa. They're worried about the permanent resident. And after people have their permanent residence, then they're worried about buying a house, and then they're worried about setting up businesses. Life happens. So
and you're right. And Mavi is spot on that one. It's like people thinking, it's not my responsibility. I'm not going to do it. He or she is doing it. So it's their business, not my business. And I don't have time in life to support that. So I think that's where we are lacking. Right. You started a podcast, right? And Aussie's group got behind to support that. And now you are producing some amazing content that is raising awareness. Right? If they would not have backed you, even though you have talent and skills and everything, you know what I mean? You would have been just
True.
having challenges, right?
Yeah.
It is important that we back each other, right? And that's why one of my policies is backing entrepreneurs, especially from diverse communities, right? And we see that throughout, I have seen that throughout my community. My friends told me when I started advocating, they're like, oh, you're wasting your time. You will give up in a month.
Yeah.
They're like, you'll give up in 2 months, right? So even that, not supporting, demotivating, right? Oh, he's about to go and waste his time.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So that is a lot, you know what I mean? That puts a lot of mental pressure on one. It's like, you're already not supporting that person.
Yeah.
You're also dragging them down.
Yeah, true.
Right.
I think based on what you guys have said and even my experience, you need to put yourself out there. You might have days alone.
Yeah.
But once you put yourself out there and you keep on going consistently, you might be alone for a while, but eventually someone will notice and you will get somewhere.
Yeah.
It's all about consistency and putting yourself out there.
Yeah. And also, I used to do this is that I used to go to Yara on the Batman Park.
Yeah.
And when I started doing this, and I used to write journal and read it, the things that I had wrote 8 days ago, 10 days ago, and just go through it. Just really, I think one thing any human being can do is that if you learn to be happy with yourself and be in your own company, that's the biggest achievement of life, because now then you will be able to concentrate and you won't take, when people drag you down, it won't impact you that much. You'll become much more resilient.
Yeah, for sure. We're talking so much about diversity and things like that. Why do you think it is important in the first place? That's the most important question. Why is it important?
Well, diversity is important because it educates you a lot more about other cultures. It educates you about the world, basically. So it's basically, let's say,
it's like traveling.
It's like thinking out of your box.
Yeah.
It's like so box is your own community.
Yes.
So as people say, think out of the box. That if you get out of your own community and learn more about different communities and cultures, it's simply thinking out of the box. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So I think it raises awareness about different cultures and you respect different cultures. So it's also important when you know about them, respect them, respect their beliefs as well. With it.
Yeah.
And I think that teaches, every culture, every community brings something to the table.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's it. I see that as a piece of a bigger puzzle.
Yeah.
Right. And if you really want to connect the whole big picture, you need to have everyone involved in it. What I have learned from other cultures that I have, I had a different upbringing to the people that I hang out with and the friends that I had. So it was, for me, this is how you do. We used to do this way, right? But now I have both ways that I can use. You understand what I mean by that, right?
Yes, for sure.
So, this is how you, let's talk about doing assignments or how you study and time. So you learn different things.
It's like basically, that's what I said earlier. It's like traveling. When I'm from India. So back in India, the same thing how I do. I wouldn't do it here because it's Australia, it's the culture, and I learned new ways. But if I travel to a new place, you said you're well traveled. When you go to a new place, they don't have coffee culture. They might have a different culture. So you adapt and you learn new things and you experience new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with this, you also get to, we don't talk much about it. Like when you actually connect with other cultures and other communities, that is, like as Mavi said, thinking outside of the box, is you also get to unlearn something that are not good for community and society.
Oh, agreed.
Right?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Sometimes we have been taught things that are, especially the space that and the culture that I am coming from, or the community. I can't say culture, but the community that I'm coming from is like, you see the world in this way, and that's how you operate. But when you actually see from a perspective of a perspective of humanity and things like that, I was like, no, that's not right.
Agreed. I so agree. I have a lived experience. Like when I went to Italy, I stayed with an Italian family. My perspective, because you see movies, is that, it's a Western country. Family is not a thing. Like people are very individualistic. Because a friend of mine had also gone to a similar country and she shared her experience. So I thought they're not going to. But when I lived with them, oh my God, so similar to Indian families. Yeah. They will feed you till your stomach, till you are not like, you can't say no. And they'll feed you till you are completely full, and they'll love to talk to you. They'll take you out together. They'll live as a family all together. And when you said unlearn, I was like, I unlearned that we shouldn't judge a culture by what is shown on the media.
And I think that's I think that's what Melbourne provides us with, an opportunity as well, that you can go and unlearn. I remember a friend of mine, and I said, hey, let's go to this food, let's go to this restaurant. And he's like, oh, that's not Indian. I said, so what? Right? Let's give it a try. And he said, oh, no. So he had this thinking that the food is not good and it's not good for his health. He even make a comment about what if I get really sick and die? And I said, there's so many millions and millions of people are eating that food, so they're not dying.
What food was he talking about?
I don't want to comment on that one. But you know, that thinking of, okay, if this is how you operated, or your family, that's how they operated, that's the right way. And I think that's the biggest mistake we can make. And it is not good for anyone's growth around, it's not good. It's not good in any way.
Yeah, true. I agree. What is one thing you have unlearned, Mavi, through, interacting with diverse people?
That's a tricky one for me. I've unlearned and learned a lot of things. Putting me on the spot, let me think about it.
You can take a minute. This interview gives you 1 minute. I'm kidding. It's just a conversation.
No, unlearned. I feel like looking like, okay, living in India, you would look at all the Hollywood movies. And then you would look at, in the movies, when they have families, they have children. And then, how they talk about, it's a funny one. They talk about having girlfriends at a very young age and parents being okay with it. If you actually come and talk about families in Australia, they're not okay with a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old having a girlfriend. It's just in the movies.
True.
I don't think they're generally okay with it until you actually are 18, 19.
True.
So I think, I was like, okay, movies are different.
That's what I said. Media, the representation. So even as an Indian, the representation of Indians or South Asians in movies is so different. And when people actually meet us, people asked me that, oh, how's your English so good? Because they assume that it's based on English. We don't speak English because obviously in movies the characters have a weird accent. No Indian talks like that.
But they purposely pick that up as well, right? Because they want to get this attention of, oh, that's a funny speaking Indian. So that in itself is a form of a discrimination from the production house in itself.
Exactly.
That's where and how it is ugly.
It is ugly. That's right. So it's a weird representation. That's what I've learned with social media or with any form of media, that it is so fake. And that's why we're having these kind of conversations to unleash those fakeness.
It's with Italian. I have a lot of Italian friends, and it's like
love them.
Italian. So few things that you hear about Italian is the accent. That's what movie shows, the accent or the pizza. That's where it's the whole Italian culture they end. But there is more to Italian culture than just the pizza and the accent.
Yes, it's the same with Mexican. They're like nachos and tacos. If you talk to Mexican, they're like, no.
I think I have Italian friends as well, and they are so well in their families. They are family people. Italians are family people. They are always in their families, and they always, whenever they invite you, because I've been invited to Italian, whenever they do Christmas dinner or they have the Easter dinner and stuff, they cook so much food, and it is so tasty. Again, food comes in with that.
Mama is back to the food again.
I'm sorry. What I was coming about, Italian families, they actually treat you as a family.
True, I agree.
I think that's part of every culture in terms of family, but the point is that Hollywood or any other Bollywood or different media, it's like how they portray few cultures, and I think they don't do the justice, right?
But people consume it, and that's why they make more of it.
That's right.
People are biased. People love those biases. It's such a tricky scale to play with, because that's what works, and that's why they produce more of it. When people make these documentaries or like these really good movies, they don't do well, but people want that spice.
And it's the same with relationship, and this can be another episode about how relationships are portrayed. And in some ways, because I worked in this space, I feel like those sort of fake expectations out of the relationship is also causing and adding to domestic and family violence.
I agree. Yes,
Right.
true.
It's like how they show that, okay, this is amazing. It can't be sunshine in relationship every day. That's not how real relationship
See, they end
works.
at the end, they get married, love story at the end, but
Yeah.
they forget to show what's after the end. That's the main story.
And also this so for example, this is also adding a pressure. I'm sorry.
No.
This is also adding a pressure to I have a friend, and she the societal pressure. Okay, once you get married, you have to have children, right? And that's the end goal of life, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But that can't be a goal for everyone, and that's biologically might not be possible. She is going through some procedures and things like that. The pressure, right? And this adds up to the violence and domestic violence and family violence. And I have seen that. I think I can talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree. I think the society and the culture have said timelines, that if you're 25, you need to achieve this. By 30, you need to achieve that. By 35, you need to achieve this. By 40, you need to be something. Like, it's not valid.
I feel with these timelines, every culture has their own timeline.
True.
I don't know if you have ever thought about it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in Indian families, you have to be married before 30.
Yeah, true.
Italian families, they're the same. You have to be married before 30. American families come from USA. Not really. They are still okay until 35, 36. So I feel a lot of different communities and a lot of different cultures and where you come from have different timelines of life.
Yeah, true.
But in all honesty, there's no timeline of life.
Yeah, there's no timeline of life.
And I think that is something that people need to unlearn.
Yes. That's a great
That's
thing.
I've unlearned. That's the thing I've unlearned. Yes.
Yes, see, we found what you unlearned. But coming back to diversity, do you think Australia in its true sense is diverse? What I meant to say is are workplaces actually diverse? Is the politics diverse? So I'll just give you an example of workplace is, for example, a friend of mine, he works at a really, really big firm. And I want to name it, but I'm not because, really global firm. And he works in retail. But he told me that the management who works there, no one's of diverse background.
Yeah.
But people on the floor, everyone is diverse, and especially South Asians and things like that. But when it comes to management, no one's of diverse background.
That's right. In that sense, the short answer is no.
No?
Right? Even though currently this country is run by Anthony Albanese, who come from, who's multicultural, you know what I mean? But in the corporate sector, you don't see, in leadership, you don't see diversity.
Yeah.
Or even in non-for-profit sector, on the boards, you don't see that diversity. In government, on the leadership, you don't see the diversity.
No? And Mavi, do you think Australia is diverse in its true sense?
Well, as Elvis touched base on this, I feel when it comes to leadership within the government, we don't see a lot of multicultural people within the government. I think that needs to change. And that's why we took this initiative. And I will say, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
So this is the change I want to see. I want to see more people from different cultures and different communities step up into politics, step up and stand for political elections.
Yeah, true. No, it's nice to see representation of different cultures. It doesn't matter South Asian anyone, because at the end, whenever any immigrant or new person comes to this country, if they see their person, it makes so much of a difference. Even if I could never speak to you, but if I see a poster of you or you guys anywhere or something on social media, it creates so much of a sense of belonging. Yeah. And that's what I think you guys are also trying to create, a sense of belonging with your campaign, right?
Yeah. It is important for people to see themselves, okay, they have done it, we can too.
Yeah,
right?
true.
And I really hope that we are sending that message to community that you can stand. And when I was announcing my candidacy, I said this to people, that don't think that you're not capable to put your hand up. Your communities deserve to have a representative of their own, and it is really important for you to put a hand up if you feel like you can represent your community.
Yeah,
that is true. And even I know we're all from India here, but even within our ticket, we don't only have Indians in our ticket.
Elvis, what all diversities do you have people on your ticket?
So I have mix of everything, and I really wanted to have a diverse ticket. So we have people from Greece, we have people who have backgrounds from Italian background, Chinese, and Indian, South Asian, What else? Australian. So it's a mix.
Yeah.
It's a really diverse ticket.
So when we're actually talking about diversity, we're
Yeah.
also standing with
Yeah.
diversity. We actually have a diverse ticket.
And I think it's really important to, anyone can talk the talk, but it's really important to walk the walk,
Yeah.
I mean? So, and that's why when we were putting the ticket together, ensuring that the voices are there, not just the cultural diversity, I have diversity of experience as well. So entrepreneurs and innovators, community sector leaders, diversity in age, and then diversity of experience, of lifestyle, and disability advocates and everything.
I think that's very important because, for example, I'm abled, but if there's someone who's specially abled, they would bring a different perspective. Like I can't be a decision maker, or I can't give my
100%.
opinion as someone who's specially able.
Yeah.
So that it's a good mix, and even age-wise, like someone who's younger brings a different perspective of what is actually going on, whereas someone who's older gets their experience in a different way. And everyone should be open to listening to each other and growing together.
100%.
Yeah.
With age, I was going to add on, it is so important because I think the world changes every 1-2 years. And right now with the AI technology coming in, of course, with someone who is at that age who doesn't understand AI, whereas a younger generation nowadays understands AI so well.
Exactly.
So it's very important for that to happen.
Yeah, true. On that, I was, out of curiosity, how does diversity help politics? Like, how does it uplift the community? Does it uplift the community? And how does it help?
Yeah, 100%. I think diversity in politics is important because we need different opinions and different views. When you're making a decision for a country which has so many other cultures and communities, but you don't talk to them about whether should we make this decision and does it work in your favor, how is that fair?
Yeah, true.
Like
it's. I think any part of any decision-making board should truly represent the modern Australia.
Yeah.
Which is 51% multicultural communities with the latest census results.
Okay.
So in that sense, I think whether it is leadership in parliament or any level of government, it is important to have. It should actually reflect and represent modern Australia that have so many different cultures, so many different views, and it is important for communities to have their representative of their own. One thing I'm really against is parachuting someone else to one community and expecting that community to get behind that person who doesn't understand the challenges or concerns of that community and who don't truly represent that community but is a representative in the government. That's not actually a true representation.
Yeah, true. I agree. And, is there representation in politics or in the government, not politics, but in government? Is there currently, or are you kind of like seeping in to be one of the first few people who are creating that change?
In the local government? From
everywhere. Like you can answer local government first and then, the federal government.
So local government, definitely one of few. And I think from definitely our background, the first ticket of its kind. And then federal government, in South Asian communities, there's Mehroon Faruqi, who's a senator from Pakistan. There's no one from Indian communities in the parliament.
Wow. Wow, there's such a heavy population of Indians in Australia.
Yeah. Exactly. And we don't have anyone.
Even in state, we don't have one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm rooting for you guys.
So yeah,
thank you.
I think people need to be, now this comes again back to what we were talking about before, is people get so busy in life that they are not politically aware with what is happening in Australian politics.
Yep.
They need to be politically aware.
Yeah, and not just that.
But how do they get politically aware? Like, what's the way? Like, is it social media? Can they follow something?
Of course.
Or
I think
what can they follow?
I think just start reading my news every day. and read about political news every day.
Yeah.
It's the same how you get politically aware in India. You hear the news, you follow the leaders, you follow who's standing for elections, you read about them, you read about their policies. It's the same way.
And you question if political parties are not putting a representative of your community, you question them.
Yeah, true.
And you tell them that you are not going to put your support behind them if they are not going to choose a representative from your community. It is important that you raise concerns. And most of the time what happens is our own communities, I feel like, sometimes don't back our own people.
That's what I said. Yeah.
We see that all the time. And I think that's a really bad thing we can do in terms of we are not doing justice to our own community. We are not really being true to our own community, and I feel like in some ways not being true to the values of,
Yeah, true. It does. I've seen that happen as well. But at the same time, people do support as well. There are both ways. As I said earlier, you need to put yourself out there. You will find someone like-minded, and it's better to connect with lesser people, actually make a connection with lesser people than a lot of people who are going to be useless to you.
You know what I feel with people of our own community when it comes to, now I could be wrong in saying that, and it could maybe spark another debate about it. But when you come from countries like India and Pakistan and you think about politics there, what comes to your mind?
Corruption.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's why people...
I didn't have to think,
Exactly. I feel that's where people get scared because they're comparing people standing politically here. And again, as I said, I could spark another debate about it, but that's true. When we look at countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, all the South Asian, we think about corruption. It's the first thing that comes to our mind. And not just about Indians, anyone who thinks about politics in these countries. And I think it's different here. And that's what people start need to believing in. And they start need to give us a chance.
Yeah.
They need to give us a chance about, that's not how things run here.
That's right.
We actually want to work for the community. We actually want to bring a change.
What is the change that you guys are planning to bring? If you guys get elected, then that's when y'all will bring change, right? Or
so see, I have always been already active in the community, whether being elected or not, it doesn't really matter. I will keep raising the voice of our community wherever I'm involved, and I know that Mavi will do the same. He's passionate about the same things that I'm passionate about. That is making sure that every decision-making board or body is truly reflective of community and have that diversity. And also, I will advocate for diversity in council, and we will make sure that the council programs and council, whether it's council grants or council, anything to do with City of Melbourne, is actually taking into consideration of diverse voices that we have in City of Melbourne, right? Whether it is diversity of culture or diversity of experiences, right?
True.
And then there are policies that we have announced, and I want to tackle homelessness in City of Melbourne. That is increasing. Homelessness have a ripple effect. That it's not just impacting a person experiencing homelessness, but it also have an impact on the wider community.
Agreed,
And I also hear loud and clear the challenges that are faced by small business owners. So because of that, I am going to, I have committed that I am going to turn 10 abandoned buildings into make the room projects.
Okay.
Right. So that will reduce homelessness, and community safety is my top priority. We need to look into how we can reduce the crime. And I think the best way we do is we engage community leaders and communities and community groups and small business owners and police, Victoria Police, around co-designing to shape our safer city strategy. Right?
True.
So these are some of the things that we are hoping to do.
Yeah. I'm really rooting because I want the small businesses thing to happen, because I was looking for grants in the City of Melbourne thing. And because I'm a small business owner, I was looking for a grant. I couldn't find it. They do have a grant, but for specific industry. I'm like, but what about other industries? So
it's not diverse. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what my team is going to do, is that really advocate for diversifying that grants.
Yeah, that's what diversity means so much in different ways. Yeah. It's not just people, but it is experiences and also things that you mentioned, diverse in entrepreneurship, businesses, and everything. Also, we're talking so much about diversity, but some people don't take diversity well. And a lot of people, actually, I'm saying some, but a lot of people don't take diversity well. How do you deal with such people?
Oh, that's a big question. I think I can talk for hours and hours.
I'm thinking of I'll let Elvis start on this because this is a very big topic. I think this is a topic we touch base in it. We'll touch on top of it.
But the thing is that there's two ways to deal with it. All right. One, if the person is just stubborn about it and not ready to accept who you are and not ready to accept the difference of diversity, and they're just not ready to listen to it, then you can't really do anything.
Okay.
The second way is if you see that if someone is being rude or racist or discriminating you anyway, you can pull them aside and say, hey, let's talk.
Yep.
I have done that in past. And
I think your question was, how do you deal with people
who do not accept diversity?
I think people who don't want to accept diversity is going to be people like Elvis said. They're going to be stubborn. No matter what you do, they're not going to accept it.
Yeah.
If people want to accept diversity, you would never have to deal with people who will accept diversity.
Yeah.
So I think you will only experience people being rude towards you and not being respectful is when they don't want to accept it, and you cannot change their mind.
Yeah.
You cannot
do anything.
You cannot educate them, but on that, as Elvis said, the second half of it, you should stand up for it so they know it's not okay to do that. You have your opinion. I respect it. Even though it's not what I believe, I respect it, but it's not fine to do it towards me or any of my people.
Or anyone.
Yeah, anyone.
Yeah.
I think stand up to everyone, right?
Yeah.
I would say stand up for your right, or people if you're seeing someone is experiencing that. But in terms of educating, some you can, some you can't.
Yeah.
Right? But stand up, definitely. It's important you stand up. Otherwise, that behavior is going to continue and it will impact others as well, not just you.
Yeah, true. And then it's a ripple effect. One person does it and then others say that, okay, this person's doing it, so it's okay. I will also do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but if you stand up, they'll be like, okay, the others will be like, okay, I get it. I knew it's not fine and I'm not going to continue doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. That was quite insightful. Anything else that you guys want to talk about or discuss or add insights when it comes to diversity or city of Melbourne or anything, or multiculturalism? Oh shit, I'm stuck. Multiculturalism. Yes. I mean,
I think we covered quite a lot.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Go and try every food out there.
Oh my God, this guy. No, I agree. You should try. There were so many cuisines before coming to Melbourne and Australia.
Yeah.
I did not have. And even though I had it, they were very Indianized because I was in India.
Yeah.
But when you had it here, oh my God, you're like, this is ramen, is this?
Yeah, exactly. In India, you have Chinese, but it's not Chinese. It's
I love
Indian
Chinese.
Chinese.
That's the best.
But
Chinese.
actual Chinese food doesn't taste like what we have in India.
Yeah.
It is so different flavors.
Yeah.
So try food, guys. Try every flavor.
True, for sure. Great point to add on. Guys, try every food. And if you want some recommendations, I'm so sure hit up Mavi.
Hit me on Instagram. I will tell you a very good place for whatever cuisine you want to try.
Yeah, hit up Mavi. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Now let's roll on to our rapid fire round. So for the rapid fire, whoever answers better gets an Anchor Cookie Co hamper.
No.
How this is going to work is, I'm going to ask one question. First you answer, then you answer together. Then the second question, you answer, then you answer. So it's like no one's biased, no one's being first always.
Right.
Okay, easy, quick. Okay.
Who's answering first?
Let's start with Elvis.
Okay, perfect.
But then it's second is going to be you.
Okay.
So don't worry.
Okay. So competitive all of a sudden.
I am so competitive. I want some good answers, guys.
Okay. We'll try our best.
Okay, let's start. Favorite cafe?
It have to be either Drop or Chaiwala for chai and Brunetti's for coffee.
Okay.
She's stealing my answers. Drop or Chaiwala and Brunetti's.
No, sorry. We can't.
Okay, Drop or Chaiwala and Little Sparrow.
Oh, okay. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Tea or coffee?
Chai or coffee? I'm confused. And chai.
Okay. For or against e-scooters?
Oh my God. That's it. I think it requires a proper consultation in city of Melbourne. So I am going to leave it at that.
Yeah, no comments.
Okay, guys, what do you think? Are you for or against e-scooters? Put it down in the comments. So we go again to you. If for 24 hours you could make something for $1, what would it be?
24 hours I'm making something.
For $1. For 24 hours, if there's something you could make for $1, what would it be? I think I know his answer before he can answer. But what
So, like I'm cooking? Or
no.
Yeah.
Anything, any product,
product.
anything, any machine, any item,
I didn't say
anything.
food. I know.
I know. That's what I said. I know his answer before he could answer. What is-
Okay. So what I will do?
Could be a house, could be lights, could be a phone. Could
In
be,
$1.
Yeah, for 24 hours, you could make something for $1. What would it be?
You can't afford anything in $1 with cost of living crisis. But
It's for just imagine.
okay, I
anything.
will say cookies.
Cookies. Anchor cookies.
Cookies, yes.
Okay. Yeah, this we didn't have to ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew the answer way before. Would you rather be liked or respected?
Would I be what?
Would you rather be liked or respected?
Respected.
What about you?
Respected.
Yeah, true. Small brands that should be viral.
Oh, there are so many.
You can name 3. What are top 3 that come to your mind?
Small brand that. So, okay, does it just have to be clothing or?
No, anything. And small businesses that need to be viral.
We have so many businesses in city of Melbourne. I think Dropout Chai Wala definitely have to be viral.
Yeah.
Their cardamom
They
chai.
are viral.
I think they should be around the world. The cardamom chai is my favorite. Their vada pav is so good. Have you guys tried it?
I don't
Yes.
like, I'm from Mumbai,
Yeah.
and this might be controversial, but I don't like vada pav.
What's the thing with I have Mumbai
I'm
friends
from-
and they don't like vada pav?
I am
Why?
from
What's wrong
Punjab.
with it?
I am from Punjab
Yeah.
and I don't like Rajma Chawal. So it's fine.
Yeah, thank God.
Fine. Don't hate me.
No, I love their vada pav. So
Yeah, Dropout Chai
Wala. And then there's this blazer place in Southern Cross that is amazing. Right?
Name.
It's called SJ.
Mm.
It's small but really good. Third, has so many. What should I say? I already covered
I'm gonna
food,
pick
and I'm
it
going to.
Okay, I'll give you another.
Humans of Australia.
Oh my God, guys, he wins already.
Unfair. Okay.
No.
Dropout Chai Wala was one of my lists as well. Anchor Cookies,
Oh,
number 2.
thank you.
There's this perfume place in Victorian Market. It's called Estee Perfumes. They do custom perfumes.
Oh, nice.
Do that. There's another blazer place, leather. Actually, they do leather products again in the Victorian Market. They do leather products. I forgot what they call. You enter, you turn left. It's the first shop. I forgot the name brand, but they do very good leather products.
Yeah.
It's okay. After the podcast, give me the link. I'll put the link in.
Perfect. I will
Yeah,
do that.
so people know
Yeah.
about what this brand is. That was good. And what is the most underrated thing about Australia?
Underrated thing. I think beaches. But it's not underrated.
No, what
No,
is
it
it?
is underrated about Victoria. Like we have people always like when they talk about beach, they always talk about Queensland and things like that because of the sunny
Which
weather.
beach in Victoria is good?
Every beach.
Listen, wait. Y'all have got the concept of beach wrong. Beach is where you can go in the water and have a nice dip.
You can go to
Yes.
any beach
You
in
can
the
go,
water.
but the water is freezing
Well,
cold.
that's because of the geography
So
of Australia.
Really?
So
There are days that you can go
days, that is 1-2 days in the year.
But that's because of the geography of Australia. Like that's how
So
the
that's
water
why beaches
flows.
no.
No, beaches and the scenery. I think that Australia has very good scenic points.
So it's you're saying these are yet underrated.
Oh, you're
100%.
talking about the entire Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, we have beaches. What are you talking about? Perth,
Yeah,
Queensland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Australia
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a place.
Yeah.
Scenic views.
100%.
They've got good scenic views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the most underrated thing? Not overrated. Underrated thing about Australia. Just saying.
Underrated. That's
Scenic
beaches.
views.
Scenic views. Yeah. True.
Yeah,
I agree.
Same. Yeah.
Scenic views. Okay.
If you say one thing that I would promote about Australia is definitely, I think how. No, drop that.
Shit. Now I want to know what that is. Tell us after this is shut. Okay. Last question. Okay. What's your travel hack?
What?
What's your travel hack?
I have so many.
So give us one.
So I jump on. So this is crazy about me. Whenever I'm going on a holiday, all my friends know that they have to help me, right? How? Yes, they have to help me because they all have to jump onto their computer. Do you know that when you actually type on Google something, it starts to increase the prices?
Cookies, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because of the cookies. So what I do is that I check a price here, and then I will ask my friend to check the price on the other computer who's sitting in a different Wi-Fi and wherever the prices are cheaper, I pick that up. And I have even gone to the craziness of rebooting my computer to see what I can.
Oh my God. I am not so dedicated. I'm like, okay, fine, let's just book it and finish it off. That's me. What's your travel hack?
My travel hack is my wife because it's not my department. It's not my department. I don't look into that.
I plan everything. Like what is happening every single day. We need to have a proper itinerary, what we are doing every single day.
Oh my God, you're that kind of traveler?
No,
I can't travel with you.
Yeah, we're not that
I like
traveler.
to just chill. And
Yeah,
then
that's
things
me.
will happen.
Well, I like to chill as well. But
So chill is a segment in your itinerary?
The point is that I don't congest my day with 10,000 different activities. But if I don't have an activity in it, when I'm hanging out with my friends or going overseas with my friends, they're like, how about we just stay in a hotel and watch something? No, we are not here for that.
Yeah.
We are here to explore the country. So let's go and do it.
I think one thing with me traveling is that one thing that I always do in traveling is either I have to go to local shops, local shops that they have, or a local museum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because, trust me, you learn so much.
Yeah.
That's one thing where you go to any place, any country, go and explore the local shops. Don't go to McDonald's and eat. Don't do that.
Okay.
See, I was coming to food again.
See, I will slightly disagree because McDonald's, every country tastes different. And it is amazing to try it.
It is different. But
I agree that,
Like
but I
one
would still
meal
go to
could be
local.
that. One meal, okay? One
well,
meal.
yes.
Yeah.
But what I was coming to was
Okay. Last,
try local food.
to add to this, I'll give a shout out to my friend Felipe, who'll be so happy to receive a shout out. But he's someone who will go and try McDonald's, KFC, in every country. That's his first meal.
I agree, it tastes different everywhere.
And I was like, why can't we try something local? Or why shouldn't we go something? He's like, no, we have to go to McDonald's. Because of him, I need to have an itinerary because he sleeps till 12 o'clock. He's like, we are in holidays. We don't have to wake up early. We are in a different country. If we are home, sure, but we are in different countries. So.
he'll be like, thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
But you didn't speak very well of me.
Anyway, last question, guys. What is your next travel destination that you want to go to?
I've been to Japan, but I want to go to Japan again.
Europe. Full Europe trip.
Full Europe. 1 month backpacking types?
Backpacking.
Oh, okay.
100% back. Because I think Europe you can only explore when you're backpacking. If you're going to stay in luxury hotels.
Hostels are the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think
you meet local people.
I love it.
And people actually think that backpacking is not that good or not that fun. It's actually so much fun.
See, I love backpacking, but the point is I don't like the backpack. I love being in hostels, but I need my luggage.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm okay with wherever. Like, if I'm doing the backpack, then Felipe again, another shout out. He carries most of it, so I don't have to worry about it. So there are times like when we went to Japan, we went for like 23 days, and the poor guy was carrying everything. I was like, thank you so much.
Why weren't you carrying your own luggage?
No, I am, but I take a lot of things. Like I took, I think, around 40 kgs for 23 days. Yeah, I'm crazy. Like I need proper shoes with every single day.
Did you say 40 kg for 23 days?
That's right.
I carry one pair of shoes. That's it.
Yeah, 2 max.
Yeah.
White, black.
No, I am so bad at packing. Like this is the worst thing I can do. Like I need this is if I'm taking this blazer that doesn't go with that shoes. But when I'm in actually Melbourne,
I think we should do another podcast on
just packing.
Just packing and how Elvis packs.
Yes, but when I'm in Melbourne, I only wear same shoes, and he always says, "Why do you do that?" Right?
Wow.
When you're going overseas, you take so many things. I don't know why I do it, but I still do.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't travel with you.
Yeah, even moisturizer, I take 2 boxes. What if I run out? What if something happens? If it spills, I need another one. It's ready to go.
Oh my God. No.
Wow.
Can't do that. But that's a wrap. I think I'm going to be super, super biased, but Elvis gets it because he gave a shout out to you in Australia.
Okay.
This Anga cookie has
Thank you.
Now, thank you to Humans of Australia for actually having us and doing this for us. Means a lot. Thank you so much, Sara.
Thank you so much for being unfiltered and candid. It was lovely having you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.